Hello and welcome. Can you hear me? I always sleep a little bit with this stream. I guess that I need to do it way more often to get more comfortable with it. Just gonna wait a little bit more. Oh, thank you, Jer. Um, let's just. Hey, what's up, Dread? Just 5 more minutes and then we can start. Just give me 1 second, please. Well, I guess that 5 was too much. It's all good now. All right. I'll Let me just set up this a little bit better so I can see if there's any comment. All right. Okay. So basically, what we want to do right now, or well, what I wanted to do is we are working on a game, Sonus Requiem, and I just wanted to work on some VFX Trails, and I actually wanted to update the one that I made some time ago. And throughout all of that time, I learned some stuff, so I wanted to make a kick-ass trail. So let's try that. Okay, I think it's more fun if we start making a material. I was thinking maybe making a trail that has a chromatic aberration, that has a lot of distortion with normal maps, something that looks um, probably not for every basic attack, maybe for a special attack or like a power, but definitely something more complex than this one, right? Because even though it looks nice, there is no distortion or refraction, and well, I want to make it look a little bit more special. So we should start doing that. Let's see. Yeah, I already have some files up for you to download. It's on the description of the video on the UNF art tools. They're nothing big. We have a chroma noise. It's just a texture that has been offset on Photoshop. Um, if you maybe don't know how to do that, I can actually show it quickly. Well, of course, you have the textures for you, right? But maybe you wanna learn how that is done, and it is actually really simple. So maybe we can get that out of the way really quickly. So really quickly, you don't need to do this. This is just any noise texture. I'm just gonna, oh, hold on. I need to close this, too much private information. Okay, there we go. So you have this noise and you basically just select it, copy it on a new document. I wanna unlock this and I wanna paste it on the red channel. And then for every channel, I'm going to be offsetting the texture a little bit, right? So we go back to the other one. Sure, now we can go on filter, or you can use any other program, right? Offset, I wanna offset this by probably just 7 and 7. I click OK, I copy it, and then I go on green, and you can see they are already like kind of moving, right? And why not? Let's do the last one. And filter, offset, so 7 more, 14, we copy it, and we go on the blue. So now when you go on RGB, the combination is just chromatic aberration, right? And you can do, again, this on Photoshop, on Substance. You can also do it on materials. It is especially cool to do it on materials because maybe if you want to animate it through time, you can just use a dynamic parameter, right? And just make them pop and distort. Really cool. But, well, maybe sometimes you just want a texture that has this, right? Just something, I'm sorry, just something really quick. Let me close this. Anyways, so we have this noise. We have this gradient for the trail, so we don't see any hard edges here or here. Although maybe here is fine, but for now it's fine. What time is it right now? It is 8 p.m. I'm surprisingly tired today. Okay, so the trail, and this is also again a really simple texture. I probably should have just reduced the resolution, but okay. So this is our main shape, and this is, well, this is gonna be the main shape of our trail. It just has some nice highlights. I made it on Substance. If you want to know how I made it, I can show you after. But again, you have them for free, so if you're not interested, that's fine too. Well, this will help me keep the effect focus here on the... Oh, I'm using a different screen capture. This is gonna help me keep the effect more focused on the middle and not so much in here. Also, it takes care of some edges that we may not want, just in case. We may not even use it. And lastly, a normal map that is, well, it is certainly not strong. It's not faint either. It's just kinda there. And this is gonna be useful for a cool effect that I'll show you after. All right, so I think this is all of them. Hopefully we don't need more. So let's start by creating that, I'm sorry, that material. So, this is a folder. Sorry. Right click, material. I'm gonna name this m_chroma trail. And please, guys, if you have any question, feel free to type it. Hopefully I didn't put much delay on the chat, and everything should be fine. Anyways, we're gonna be using some functions in here and some other tricks that it will be quite fun to make. I think I already said that. Anyways, we want our material to be translucent, and also we want it to be unlit and two-sided. Okay, if you're using an older version of Unreal, you should type here refraction and activate this index of refraction, because it normally should be off. So you can use this pin here. All right, so first what we want to do is, well, what we did on Photoshop to a texture that hasn't been chromatic aberration yet. I guess you can say it like that. I'm just gonna put the trail here, and I'm gonna be copying it 3 times. So why 3? It's because I want to offset this one to a direction, this one to another, and this one to another, so they are slightly different and they create that chromatic effect that we just saw in Photoshop, right? Okay, so we should start. I'm gonna hold S, left click. This is gonna be the chromatic offset. And again, if it wasn't clear, I'm giving different instructions for each one of these, so they are slightly different. Okay, I want to bring in an append, and it's just append vector. We hook it in. Hopefully this is close enough. Okay, and I just want to bring in a constant, and it's just 0. We may modify this after, but for now it's okay. And I want to add this to, well, a different texture coordinate that we will bring after. Hold P for a panner, and that's it for our first texture. And this panner can have maybe on X 0.5. We still cannot see anything. We need to add things here on our ad and whatever. So don't get too scared. Let me check the comments. First time to the stream. How's everyone doing? Hey, what's up, Grammy? I see that someone is helping me in the comments, so that's great. Thank you. I'm sorry. Anyways, let's continue. Let's bring in the texture coordinate. And this is gonna help us for all of our three textures. So I wanna, I probably just wanna plug this into the ad directly. And well, we can just preview this with a start previewing node. And you can see, well, nothing much has changed. The only thing that you can probably say that it has changed, that it looks so different from our texture. But that's gonna be fine for now. So you should not worry at all. Probably this chroma offset, we can already start putting it like 0.03. So we can tell the difference after, once we join all of them. Okay, we can stop previewing this node. And, you know, I'm thinking, now, yeah, let's make them 3 and then we can add some really cool normal map. Yeah, I think that that's gonna be the best. Okay, so we can bring in this chroma offset here. Oh, sorry, just hold M and bring a multiply. Okay, and this, we wanna copy this append, plug it here, and the B is just, again, a constant of 0 that we could change after, but we probably won't really need to. So I wanna add this to here, and this is gonna be our third texture. We of course want to have the same velocity on the 3 of them, right? So it's still 0.5, it's still here 0.52. And can we already check if they look different? Let's test that. RGB. Let's preview it. And okay, so far it is not really looking any different. But we should just continue for a little bit more and then see exactly what is happening, or why is it not changing. We probably need to play around more with the chroma offset. But okay, for now, this is just good. So I actually wanna make one last one, this banner here directly. Okay, so now we should have all of these 3 done. And we could join them, but let's first take care of the normal map. That probably is gonna give us a little bit more light in this dark tunnel. So let's bring in our normal. Hold T and left click, and there you have it. And I do not want all of these 3 channels, probably just the first 2 ones. So component mask. Okay. Red and green should be fine. And let's multiply it by a constant so we can modify its intensity. So hold S, and this is gonna be UV distort. And let's plug in. Okay, now, okay, so now we should distribute this to every single one of these textures. So this texture coordinate, let's just add it to this multiplication. And now this, we can start sending it everywhere. So here, here, and it's here too. All right. And let's make the distortion to be 0.25. We can already see some distortion there. That looks cool enough. All right. Now, let me check the comments quickly. Oh, woofer. Yeah, for sure, it's gonna be up, and hopefully you enjoy it and you can have fun with it. What's up, Ram? Thank you for the aid, the tips and tricks. Okay, let's continue with this. So far I cannot see much change, probably because we're doing a multiplication. But we still need to check this out though. So there is a difference here. Fine. It's multiplied by 0. This is fine. These two. This should be fine. Well, let's join them together then. But first, when I erase this, let's add a power. It's just another means of being able to control these textures. So another power here, and I want to hold S again, and this is power T, power texture, I guess, and we can just join it on all of the ones here. I probably just want a 1 and don't want to modify them so much right now. Okay, so how do we join these three textures into one? Because an add is not gonna really work that well, and multiply, you know that it already does not work at all. So just right click, let's type make float 3, and this can just join the three textures each into one channel. So how does this look? Can we just plug it on emissive? You can already see some kind of color difference, and you know, this could be good enough. Let me unplug this and just check it like this. Although it feels like it's the same, right? Okay, so it is spin by 1, make flow 3, they have similar speeds. You know, I'm thinking maybe we can add one more thing around here, and then we can move on from this part. Although I think it looks already good enough, but we probably need to modify it a little bit. So here, how about we just add 0. This shouldn't do much difference, but we should definitely try it. So here, and this one goes on the add. Yeah, adding 0 does nothing, right? Okay, but let's leave it like this for now. And if it looks kind of weird at the end, because I feel like there is something wrong, but I can't quite catch it. Okay, it's fine. We should definitely move on and make more interesting things. Okay, so where should we go now? Let's continue building here on top, I believe. So I want to multiply this by another texture. One texture that can, I'm just gonna plug this here. One texture that can focus the area a little bit more, right? Like this one here. Focus it on the middle. So just bring it in. We probably want another power here. And we just want one channel. And let's plug it in. Okay, we can see some kind of cool fade. I like that. Okay, let's move on then. So now, remember that we still need to do a few things, like for example, make the particle be able to change the opacity and the emissive color. We also want to have some cool camera effects, and also we want the trail to fade when we look at it from the side. So there are a lot of things that we need to do, and I know that it's not looking that pretty right now, but trust me, we're gonna make it look really pretty. Okay, maybe pretty is not the word, but all right. Anyways, so right now in here we have all of these three channels, all of these three colors moving. I just want one. So probably first I increase the color just a little bit, 1.5, make it a little bit brighter. And now I want another component mask. And I just want one channel, right? So probably just green. And we can just see it here. Yeah, I mean, it can be green, red, or blue. It is whatever you want. All right. And what we want here is to bring a linear interpolation with L and left click. And this is gonna be your alpha. Remember that the lerp can help you like make a blend between these two options depending on your alpha, right? So the brighter points are gonna have more influence on whatever comes here. All right, and this is gonna help me control the color offset of our little system here, or well, of our little material. So hold S and say color offset. And this is gonna be on B. And on A, we can just leave it on 0. This is just fine. The color offset, we can just say it's 4. Yeah, okay, that looks nice. Now, let's just move it like this. We should, I'm wondering, do we bring in another texture for the opacity? Or, you know, let's continue working on the emissive and make it look cooler because it's kind of bothering me. I'm sorry. So we have our linear interpolation here. We have our alpha, which is the mask, and that's great. But I'm thinking, let me see. So, no, we do need to bring in the bottom texture. Okay. Yeah, never mind. Let's bring in another texture then. This time we need this gradient, and this is gonna help us have our texture fade in, right? From left to right, and overall make it look really cool. So just bring it in. Usually all of your trails have this kind of texture, or you can also do it with matte too, but that's up to you. So if we just preview this texture, I think that I will want this to be a little bit more to the left side. This is a little bit too soft. So I can either do it with a power or I can just move it with the UVs. And since just doing a power is just too simple, let's just make it more complicated so we learn more things. Let's bring in a texture coordinate. And I wanna add a vector direction. So just hold 2 and plug it in. And plug this in here too. So if it's 0, 0, it stays in the same place. But if we do, for example, 0.1, you can see how it's starting to move, right? Although it looks broken right now. And that's because we haven't clamped our texture. So now it's like trying to tile, right? Just leave it at 0.1. We open up the gradient. And in here, on texture advance, we just want it to clamp, so it does not repeat. And that's somewhat what we wanted. Although this first part has been moving to the left, and now there is no black in here. But quite honestly, that's fine because the sword is gonna be here, so we are not gonna be seeing this edge anyway, right? Okay, so I think this is fine. And of course that we can also add a power just in case. And I'm gonna leave it at 1, so nothing changes. But just in case, to know that we could modify this in case it becomes problematic. Just give me 1 second. Oh, I wanted to check the chat and everything broke. There we go. Oh. Oh, okay. Just 1 second. Okay. Thank you, Ram, for the support. All right. Anyways, so now that we have this texture here and we can stop previewing it, we should multiply it by this linear interpolation. So we can start seeing some change here, right? as you can see, there is already an edge here, although it looks a little bit too rough. So we may have to take a look at that. For now, as always, this is fine. Once the whole setup is done, we can start seeing if we need to modify some small values. Anyways, so now we have this multiplication here, and I would like to have some kind of some way to blend colors into this mask that we have created. So luckily there is a function for us, and that can help us a lot. But for now, we just want to bring a multiplication, and this is gonna be multiplied by our particle color. So you may be wondering why we are not bringing this particle color at the end of the whole setup, because we still have some stuff to do. I just want to bring in some colors after the particle color, so we have some kind of fixed setup for it. If that explains it well, I hope it does. So we plug it in here. Okay, it looks cool. Now let's bring in three vector constants. I just hold 3 and just brought them up. Oh, but we still need some stuff to do. So we have the particle color being multiplied by our mask, and we also need to bring in another multiplication that comes from this power here. And in here we want to bring, or we want to catch the whole rainbow of colors that we created here. Or well, no, actually, here. So let's bring it here. Okay, so mask multiplied by our colors. Okay, nice. Can we preview it actually? Oh, sorry. Here. Yeah, this may be a little bit too rough, but for now it's good. Okay. So now we can start making this blending. So I wanna pick 3 colors here. I think this could be like some kind of violet. I do not want to go too strong on the colors, not in emissive, right? Probably a little bit more blue. Yeah, it's fine. The second one, it's probably still blue, but like kinda lightish, could be. Like, yeah, sure, 0.5 in here. Ah, I already screwed it up. Okay, it's fine. Probably around there, it's fine. And the third one, it has to be some kind of yellow and green. I mean, I'm just picking colors, but this may look good. Okay, and we can change it after. So how do we blend these 3 colors? We just type blend, oh, sorry, 3 color blend. Okay, and this is gonna make it really cool. So we have one color here, another here, and another here, and our alpha needs to be the whole setup we've done here with the particle color. So in there. And actually, let me just make it a little bit more ordered, something like that. We still haven't plugged this in, but this is fine. Okay, so we have this color blend. How is this looking? I don't enjoy it at all. I'm sorry. I don't really enjoy it at all. I think we wanna multiply this by probably this. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. We just need that black. So we can preview it. And this is starting to look a little bit cooler, and we have this cool distortion. Okay, nice. That's all fine for now. And now I want to like I want to be able to, whenever I move my camera around the trail, be able to see some kind of texture surrounding the trail, some kind of like a tri-planar thing. I don't know if that makes sense, like a cube map around it. But in order for that, probably I should be getting the opacity done so it doesn't look black. Yeah, that's kind of annoying me. So we should do that. All right. So I want I don't want the isolated channel for that, or probably do I want it? Yep, probably I want these three out of them. Let's bring in a power. And this power, again, it's just, I may modify it like that. For now, it's just one, so nothing happens. And I want to multiply this by our alpha. And the classical node for VFX, not power, it's depth fade. Okay, so whenever it intersects geometry, you can have a nice fade to it. And actually, let's just make it stronger, 2.5. And plug it on the opacity. All right, that's looking cool. We need to modify it more for sure, but for now, this is working. We need a lot more color in here too. Okay, so finally we can see this a little bit better. Yeah, I'm sorry it took too long. Anyways, let's make this cool effect that I told you about. So I want to unplug this, and I want to bring in a tri-planar camera vector. This is gonna give us a really cool effect. Again, when we look at our trail from different angles, it kind of simulates a cube map, right? It's just that it's the same texture. It's not really a cube. So let's we need a texture object, and our chroma is perfect for this because again, the chromatic effect is already done in here, so we don't need to do a whole setup for it. And we need to convert this to a texture object and just plug it in here. So exactly, can we preview this? Yeah, so it's kinda like this. We need to control a lot the tones a lot more, but the idea is that we have this really cool how do you call this, background effect? My English fails me, but let's start modifying it a little bit more. So now for sure we do need the power here. This is not just in case, this we will use it for sure. So we want a lower value, so probably 0.75 maybe. Okay, of course we won't be able to see anything like this. Yeah, it's barely there. Let's continue working at it. Let's desaturate it a little bit more. Okay, saturation, and I want to go on the inverse, so -2, well, not inverse, but a negative value. -2 should be good. Yeah, of course we can see it yet, but don't worry. Let's just make it stronger. 2.5. And I think that's all for this. Okay, it's brighter for sure. Let's add it and let's get done with it. So these two, let's add them together. How does that look? We will see it soon enough. So let's see. Okay, that's way cooler. All right, we have way more clear edges. The colors are very nice too. And you can see the chromatic, right? But I still feel that it may be a little bit too small, but we will continue tweaking it. Okay. So I think we can desaturate it even more. Let's copy it actually. the saturation, and again, I should just press 1. Okay. I think it's just -1 here. And do we multiply it again? Yeah, for sure we will multiply it again. 2.5 should be fine. Okay, it's way more clearer. It looks something like toxic, huh? Okay, I really enjoy this. Anyways, we still need to do some configuration here on the bottom because when we see the trail from the side, we do not want to see these really hard edges. And let me check. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, thank you, Ram, for the support. Yes, please, any question, you can just ask me. Maybe some notes aren't clear, or maybe something that I'm doing makes no sense. Please tell me, all right? And I'll check it. Thank you. Anyways, so for our trail, we want something smooth. We do not want to see this really harsh line on it, right? We want a softer fade. So luckily we have another function for that. Thank Lord. And this is camera depth fade. Okay, nice. And I think we've made this setup before on our tutorials, haven't we? Oh yeah, it's the same. C vector. Oh no, it's a little bit different. Okay, never mind. So we should still make some small configurations here. So this camera depth fade is going to be useful. Now that I think about it, we will see if looking at our trail in these directions is disruptive. Because okay, it may not, but definitely if we make a refraction, these hard edges are going to be not so good for us. They're not gonna be smooth. You're gonna be seeing those really harsh lines. So I'm thinking, I'm taking back what I said a little bit. We will use the camera depth fade only for the refraction. We may use it for the opacity. We don't know yet. Anyway, so hold S, and this is gonna be named refraction fade, and this fade length here. We can just say this is like 700 maybe. We'll see. And we want a linear interpolation. Otherwise, again, we're gonna be seeing a really hard square. So we just need the alpha here. And for the values, we may need to tweak this, but probably 1.5 should be okay. Anyways, we need to make another linear interpolation, and this goes on B. Now, this whole system here is gonna control our alpha, but we may need to make it softer. So I wanna bring in a power that we're gonna use. It's not gonna sit there standing. 0.6 probably. And if we hook it on the alpha, I kind of want to see how this looks. Fraction. Yeah, we can see this really harsh line. Okay, not what we want at all. So we need to do another lerp, do we? Let me think. Oh, no. It's because of the A. This has to be 1, right? This has to be 1. Okay, so now we cannot see any hard edge. And actually, it's a little bit hard to see a refraction. But you can see how the background is moving, right? Okay, cool. Anyways, probably I just want a single channel here and not all of them. So component mask, and again, just the G. And let's bring this on our alpha. Okay, this is looking sweet. So let me click on apply. And I want to see if we have everything. So our opacity is here, controlled by this, that's fine. Okay. So, oh, just in case, all of you also should have this color blend and everything, but in case that you don't, you really should, but in case you don't, that's the setup inside. Just in case, because when I was watching some tutorials some time ago, also, sometimes they used functions and I just didn't have them, and I just had to recreate it, and it was a little bit annoying. But you should definitely have all of this. So, going back to it, what we're doing is we have these three textures here, and we are trying to emulate a chromatic aberration by moving their coordinates, right? And they're also being multiplied and added by a normal map. So you can see these different textures when it moves. Okay, cool. We have our distortion. This should remain on 0. This is unnecessary. Then what we're doing, ignoring this power because I think right now actually it looks fine. Although you can move things around if you want. And then we have this texture that is just focusing the, well, making the focal part just here in the middle and have a fade on top. It's just a small touch that I think works quite nicely. We're just gathering the three textures in a single node. Fine. We are just oh, and this at the end ended up looking quite nicely. We don't see any harsh black line, which is amazing. This texture, it just gives us more fade. Fine, we learned how to move the texture. Okay, cool. We are using a blending to give different colors to our texture, and it looks great. This tri-planar, giving it a different, I haven't said texture too much, but well, you get me. All right, I think this is good enough for the material. This should look fine. Just 1 second, RGB here. Yeah, this is fine. This is perfect. And you're probably just waiting to just go on the on the particle, on the system. Too much time doing materials, I guess. Well, this was fun for me at least. Hopefully for you too. So, okay, we have our material here. We should do our particle and try to hook it up here on our animation. So let's do that. Particle, Niagara system, new system from selected emitters. If I'm going a little bit too fast, you can tell me, and also we do have tutorials on these too. So I just want to go a simple sprite burst, and I want to go and finish. I want to name this NS chroma trail, and I double click to enter it. And I think that well, obviously we won't be able to preview it nicely, because we need to do a Niagara script and also a blueprint to make it look kick-ass. But we can start checking some stuff out. So I'm gonna disable this so we don't see anything. And I wanna bring in notify state, time Niagara effect. Okay. Let's bring in our chroma trail and place it in. And the bones I have here, they're funny, I guess. I can just say, okay, it's on the base. So sort base. How is that looking? Okay, obviously it's not following our sort because it's not a ribbon, but at least it exists. Okay, it works. Oh, and we can see the other trail. You know, if we do that, okay, and there is an error here. I'm just gonna erase it. Okay, and let's work on the chroma trail then. So this needs to be a ribbon renderer, and also it needs many other things, but let's start with that. So we erase this and say ribbon. Okay, let's put in our material. And of course, we cannot see anything right now, which is fine. And on initialize particle, we do need to change a few things. Give me a second. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, right. It's no longer initialize ribbon. They mix them together, which is awesome. Okay. So for our ribbon, we do not need a width. Actually, their exact 5 is fine. We do not need to modify any of these. This is just okay. For the lifetime, I think 0.5. We do not want to change color. We don't need any of that. This is useless for us. Sprite size. Can we take a look and see how? Okay. So we still get a hello because it never left. All right. And we do not want a spawn burst here. We need a spawn per frame. So spawn rate here, spawn per frame. And 1 is just fine, otherwise things may go out of control. And all right, we can see a tiny trail just going around. And we can still see this. Okay, this is getting annoying. Okay, that's better. So it's tiny. We need to change that. So ribbon width, can we say 100? How does that look? Okay, so it looks better, but it goes crazy, right? So it starts here and maybe it ends here. That's better. So let me take a look at it again. Obviously there are many uncool errors. One more time. So first of all, it's just facing us all the time. And we could just put a like sprite facing an alignment and change some things here, but this trail is never gonna look as good as a cascade trail. And that is because we need to create a scratch pad to add some special configuration for it to act that way. We basically need to create 2 virtual sockets. Let me check this. Oh, thank you, Bruno. You're so kind. All right. So again, we need to create a scratchpad to create 2 virtual bones and then tell the particle that it's gonna be spawning from those points, right? We do not really need this ribbon width at all, because this just if we just go with this with the ribbon width, it's just taking our socket name, sort base, and then just expanding from it, right? And it doesn't really look good, although we can see that the material looks really nice. And I think that making it bigger can help us see the details that yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's start doing that. Too much waiting around, I'm sorry. So here in particle, I wanna right click, go on effects, and we want a new Niagara module script. And we can name this Niagara module script VFX Trails, or actually just, you know, FX Trails. And we can double click and enter it. What we're gonna be doing here again is to create 2 virtual sockets from where our trail can spawn from. I think my English failed me there. Anyways, so let's create 2 vectors. So vector. This first vector is gonna be named fx start trail, and this other vector, it's fx end trail. So we have these 2. Now we need to find the middle point between those 2. So find middle point. Find midpoint between positions. Perfect. but this is just working for our start trail. So we might want to copy this, paste it, and do the same. Okay, so we have two positions now. We do not need to change the weight at all. And we go here. So now, luckily, we have everything we need here. The position, the length, and the direction. The direction that it is facing, right? So let's just type here ribbon facing. Nice. Let's create another. Sorry. This is particle position. If you just type position, then anything comes up. It needs to be particle and also sorry. Ribbon width. Okay. So we have these three options and they are going to be modified by the position of these two vectors. And that's exactly what we need. So position on position, length here, and direction here. So we compile, everything is good. We want to expose this so we can see it on our Niagara modules. We apply it and we save it. I actually want to save just in case it breaks. So this is the first part. This is the easier part, let's say. If we go to our chroma trail and we click on the plus and we type, okay, we can see what we created, VFX Trails. And we can see the name of the vectors that we added, right? But we don't want to put any numbers here or any curve or anything. We just want this to be read from the position that we put inside our animation. So we can just type user, read from new user parameter, and it automatically reads this, fine. And read from new user parameter. Okay, perfect. That's the first part. I wanna save once again, just in case. Now we need to make a blueprint for this. And in this blueprint, we will create the sockets and everything else. So we right click, blueprint class, and in here we need to type Niagara. Now we need the Niagara and notify state time Niagara effect, and we select it. And this can be named blueprint VFX Trails. And I think that's good. So we double click and we enter it. Now, this blueprint, we want it to, we want to override this. So we go on override function. We want this blueprint to notify on every tick, right? Okay. So now we need to do, well, we expand them. First of all, let's bring in our spawned effect. So from here, we just type get spawned effect. Okay. Target is time Niagara effect. Perfect. We wanna plug in the mesh comp to our mesh comp. Don't forget that. Now we wanna validate it. So if something is not working here, I want it to be set in here. Like you said, I'm sorry, like you saw earlier, I can't remember at the message, but I want something to show in case something is not working. So I want to bring here, the type is valid, get the question mark, perfect. And the return value, we need to plug it in here. So if it's not valid, I want it to print string, and that's it. I shouldn't have okay. So we place it here, and I wanted to say failed. Okay, filed, it's gonna be. And nice, but if it works, I want first to set vector parameter. Oh, but this is material. This is not gonna work. We need it to be from an effect. So dragging from here is not useful. We need to drag it from here, that it's a Niagara effect. So here, set vector parameter. Okay, that's nice. And look, it looks kind of confusing now, but don't. There we go. Okay, whew, that's better. And remember, we are setting two vectors. We are setting two bones, two locations. So we need to have two of them. We copy and paste. We have two here. We join them together. And actually, we can just plug it here. Okay, so we have two bones, let's say. All right, and the names were FX start trail, right? FX start trail and FX end trail. So hold on. Okay, so I'm confused. Okay, all right. So FX start trail, FX start trail, and this one is gonna be FX end trail. The names need to be exactly the same, otherwise it's not gonna work. So I'm just FX start trail, just checking that I didn't make any typo. Okay. Okay, this is good. So now we need to get the socket location in the world. And let's just bring it here and say get socket location. And we can actually do the same for this one. Perfect. Now, what do you do with the socket names? Well, we just promote them to variable, and we can say this is start, because it is the start, right? FX start tray, yeah. And this one too, variable, and this is gonna be named end. All right. Now, our socket locations have no target. So again, the mesh comp saves us here, here, and also here. Okay, and this should be it. I'm afraid that I made some mistake because I always get confused on the... oh yeah, for sure. I always get confused on blueprint. So error here because we haven't plugged our effect. There we go. Compile. Now everything should work. And we should check it now. I'm a little bit afraid of checking it. All right. So this is useless, right? Because it's just being spawned at the base. We just erase it. We need to bring in our blueprint. So right click, notify state, and this is the one that we created, VFX Trails. Yeah, it is one. And it starts in here, and it ends around here. That's fine. Okay, so it filed because we don't have a... Oh, actually, there are plenty of things that are not showing. Well, for one, let's just place our effect in here and just place this on the root. But we should be having our sockets in here, and they don't appear because we have them hidden. Now they show. Great. So we want one to spawn at the FX base. We need to type it, and luckily, sort FX base. And the end, I want it to be at sort FX tip. And how is it looking? Okay, that is showing, and we definitely need to make some tweaks. You can see some artifacts in here, right? But it is showing now, which I like. And actually, should stop around here. Okay, so what do we do? Do we fix this problem? Do we make it let's make it look prettier, because that kind of bothers me a little bit. So we have this initialize ribbon. All of this is fine. I want to bring in a color here, and not to modify its color. I just want to modify its alpha. So I want to bring in a curve, color from curve, and I wanna double click this, bring it to black, and probably just drag it, if it lets me drag it. There we go. Around here should be fine. And our alpha should be, I'm just eyeing it, you know, but if you right click, you can see exactly at what time it is. So how is that? Okay, that's better. So it is dying earlier. It is not leaving that annoying trail. Yeah, so that's looking a little bit better. Okay, we should definitely continue tweaking it though. Probably this bumper frame I wanna do it too. And this emitter state, it's just a mania of mine. I'm just gonna leave it on infinite and 1. No loop, scalability is fine. This is useless to modify. And I'm thinking this facing mode should also be meaningless, right? Yeah, because now it is following the... Hold on. Oh, it is still following our camera. So if we want to stop that, we need to select, instead of screen, custom side vector. And let me check. So UV setting 0. I want it to be a smooth transition. And it should be fine now, right? Oh, okay, now it is following the direction it should be following. And just for testing purposes, I want to make this trail bigger. So obviously, the way that you make it bigger is, well, first having a thicker texture here. As you can see, there is a lot of black space. If you make it bigger and maybe make a sign a distorted, could be better. Okay, sure. But just for this example, I just wanna make it bigger artificially by putting different sockets. I think I already did I? Oh yeah, definitely. So let's just type it in. Oh, if you don't know how to create them, just you just go on the bone that you want, right click, and you add socket, and then you can move it around, or you can just paste the locations and just have fun with that, right? So test and test. So okay, that's looking cooler. Let me just keep checking it. I still see some kind of distortion on the trail. I actually want to bring up a sequencer animation to see if it's working properly. Just 1 second. Hey, what's up, doctor? It's live, and it's gonna be saved too. So, well, not 100% sure that it is gonna stay up, but we'll see. Anyways, I still see that this is kind of like breaking. So we need to modify more things on this system. So I don't think that we need a scale color because our color is working. Something tells me that I may need to restart, but let's keep checking and see if we have something missing. So it is custom side vector for sure. It is smooth. I think it's fine from here. Initialize particle. The lifetime should be okay. Yep. Yep. If we modify this, it's meaningless. Yeah, you know, I think we just may need to restart it. Okay. But let's test the cinematic first. So I wanna, just in case, it's gonna load eventually. There we go. This is an old test map. Oh, it's a little bit too bright. And I think it's broken. There we go. Okay. Huh. Okay, so I need to... Oh yeah, even this trail is leaving black spots on the screen. It's definitely a unreal thing that I need to restart. Anyways, I wanna try it on sequencer and see how it looks, because there are some really interesting details that I wanna see if they worked or not. Otherwise, we need to tweak them, right? Just give me a second. I want to check something. Just 1 second. So, reference viewer, and Hebrews to asset, reference viewer. There we go. So I want this one. Okay, yeah, I want this one. So, wait, was it this one? Just 1 second. No, this is not the animation that I want. What am I doing? Probably this one. Yep, I think this is fine. We're gonna test it in here. Let's erase this, and I can just put my chroma trail in here. And let's test it out. I can't move again. I know that I said we will do a sequencer, but just give me 1 second. Well, nothing shows. That's weird. Oh, nothing shows here either. Okay, so Control C. This is back to the quick rate trails. Okay, I just wanna open this up, and I wanna place the trail here. So yeah, by doing that, then every trail is gonna be changed. Silly me. Okay, this is for the better. But it's too small. Yeah, it's the third one. It's this one. Thank you for the patience, guys. Is it this one? Yeah, nice. Okay, so I wanna modify this one. So again, test. Okay. All right, nice. So let's bring up that sequencer thing, and I can just do it here. Right click animation. Wait, is this the right place? No, it's on cinematics. Yeah, cinematics, and we want a level sequence. This is gonna be something really fast though, so... Oh, and probably we're just gonna be seeing half a body, but okay, this will have to do. Actor sequencer, and this is combo. Okay, the animation is combo attack wave. Oh, which one is it? 502. So if you press play, all right. Now a time dilation. Oh, time dilation track. I wanna say that this is... Okay, I'm just gonna go overboard with it, I'm sorry. Okay, we may need to modify the power a little bit. But I'm so sorry for the interruption. Okay, I'm back. Anyways, so how is this looking? Okay, the distortion is amazing. I can't see anything getting in the way of it. That looks very nice. Okay, so remember those jagged artifacts is just unreal. But yours should be looking nice. Okay, I think that's it, quite honestly. I really like it. Let's check it a little bit more though. So this power, can we do a 1.5? So the higher we go, the softer the trail gets, right? But 8.5, that just makes it bigger. Oh, but I'm not sure if we can actually see this tri-planar that we made here. I wanna check that out. Can we actually see it when we move? You can kind of see it, but not entirely. We may need to make it stronger. Oh no, actually, you can see it when you move around. Just for the sake of testing, let's make it live for way longer. So instead of 0.2, it's just 1. It just lives forever. I just want to see that effect in action. Yeah, so... my bad. Just 1. Okay. So most likely that effect you're gonna see it when you make a good slow-mo like this one. Probably not that slow-mo, but that looks so sweet. And why is it living for so less? I just keep failing. Probably just this 0.5, right? Nope. Why is it living for so... What am I missing that it's obvious? So 2 seconds. The color is just fine. Well, I'm most likely missing something that is incredibly obvious and I just cannot tell what it is. But that's just probably... Oh, of course, I'm modifying it a different trail. No wonder it doesn't show. This is the trails that I had before. I just swapped the material so it is on every single attack animation. Alright, okay, no wonder. So 1, 1. That should be enough to test it. Okay. One last test. Okay, that looks really sweet. Can we still play around? I mean, if you guys have time, we can definitely play around a little bit more. Distortion, can we just go over the top? 1.5. Oh, that just breaks the trail, especially since this doesn't move. What if we make it move too? Is it gonna break? It's probably gonna break. Yeah, it doesn't really show that much. That makes it a little bit more believable. So how broken is this? Well, not as broken as I thought, but... Oh yeah, I can see that normal map. It's not a good idea to have this much distortion. I think it was 0.25. I cannot recall. But anyways, guys, I think that's it. I just wanted to make a cool power effect for our hero. And I'm just gonna close this. Oh, okay. I better not touch anything. Ah, it's too thin. Come on. Hmm. Yeah, that is quite bothersome. But restarting is gonna take way too long. Okay, that's pretty cool. Well, if you start seeing some more lines, you may want to put more you may want to increase the spawn count. You may want to increase it, right? Anyways, guys, the comments. Okay. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed it and that you learned some stuff. I wanted to make more streams on trails. I was thinking some fiery phoenix ones, or some more elaborate, like Final Fantasy 16. I really enjoyed those fire trails; were amazing. So maybe we can do that. Maybe that can be fun. But let me know if you learned or if you liked it, or maybe I need to do something better. Please do let me know. And don't forget that we also have a discount code for our action game. It's on the chat too. It's Model 14. And well, thank you guys for joining, and I hope that you had a good time. And I will see you on the next live stream.